Imagine a world where time regresses in rights and freedoms, where instead of moving forward, a regression imposes limits on individual autonomy. This is what Margaret Atwood presents in The Handmaid's Tale, a classic of contemporary literature that not only serves as a social warning, but also leaves a profound impression on the boundaries of oppression and the resilience of the human spirit. The story of The Handmaid's Tale unfolds in the Republic of Gilead, a totalitarian theocratic society established in a not-so-distant future. Atwood's narrative, while fictional, is filled with details that reflect current issues, making us question just how far removed we really are from this terrifying vision of the future. Gilead's society is structured in a strict hierarchy, where each individual has a defined role and rights are practically non-existent for most people, especially women. The protagonist, whom we know as Offred, is a handmaid, one of the few fertile women in this society devastated by infertility. Her role in Gilead is simple and brutal: to procreate. Handmaids are nothing more than bodies for reproduction. Their names, consisting of the prefix "of", followed by the man's name they serve, reinforce this sense of belonging and dehumanization. Offred lives a life confined to a few spaces, and her entire being is subject to the will of her superiors, always under the weight of a regime that constantly monitors her. The first-person narrative allows the reader to delve deeply into Offred's thoughts and emotions. With elegant and precise prose, Atwood immerses us in the mind of someone whose identity has been erased and forcibly reconstructed. Descriptions of her daily life, her memories, and the small rebellions she permits herself reveal the contrast between Offred's past and present, underscoring the pain of having lost what was once her life. Through her eyes, we experience the claustrophobia and horror of a world with no apparent escape, and we witness the struggle for dignity in oppressive circumstances. The Handmaid's Tale presents a variety of characters who, like Offred, are trapped within Gilead's rigid structures, though each reacts differently. Serena Joy, the commander's wife, embodies a paradox. Though she holds a position of authority in Gilead, her role is also limited by the very system she helped create. Her bitterness and frustration become evident in her relationship with Offred, a mixture of hatred and dependency that reflects the complexity of relationships in a totalitarian system. The commander, on the other hand, is a difficult character to decipher. Although he is one of the architects of the oppressive system, he seems to feel a need for something beyond Gilead's rigid structure. His interactions with Offred, which sometimes appear almost humane, are a stark reminder of the privilege and absolute power that men hold in this society. The character of Nick, the driver, introduces a dynamic of ambiguity and mystery, and his relationship with Offred reminds us that, even in the most controlled situations, there are cracks and moments of freedom. Atwood uses the dystopian genre to explore and critique social and political structures that have existed throughout history. The Handmaid's Tale is not only a story about a dystopian future, it is an allegory questioning systems of control and surveillance, the use of religion to justify repressive policies, and the ways societies can collapse into totalitarian regimes when freedoms are stripped away under the guise of security or stability. One of the novel's most powerful themes is, without a doubt, the control over the female body. Gilead turns women into mere instruments for reproduction, stripping them of any sense of individuality or agency. The novel highlights the danger of reducing people to specific roles and how power structures can manipulate and exploit human vulnerability. At the same time, The Handmaid's Tale explores the resilience that emerges even in the most desperate situations, showing us that although Gilead manages to physically subjugate its inhabitants, the desire for freedom and identity is unquenchable. Published in 1985, The Handmaid's Tale has resonated over the years as a warning that seems to become more relevant with time. Atwood constructed Gilead using elements from past and present oppressive regimes and systems, ensuring that the story wasn't a mere dystopian fantasy but a tangible possibility. This has made the book a subject of study across various disciplines, from literature to sociology and gender studies. The novel has become a symbol of the fight against oppression, particularly patriarchal oppression. It is no coincidence that the handmaids' attire with their red cloaks and white bonnets has become an icon in protests and demonstrations worldwide. The image of these women walking silently, forced to accept their role in a society that completely controls them, has resonated with movements fighting for women's rights, and the book has become a cultural reference that transcends generations. Atwood not only offers us a memorable story but also poses profound questions about power, gender, and resilience. Her ability to create a world with its own rules and to do so in a way that resonates with readers is a testament to her literary mastery. The Handmaid's Tale is ultimately an exploration of humanity in its darkest moments, and of the spark of hope that can endure even in the midst of despair. Reading The Handmaid's Tale is not just about immersing oneself in a gripping narrative, but also confronting essential questions about freedom, identity, and the role of women in society. The novel is a warning that reminds us of the fragility of our rights and how easily they can be lost if we are not vigilant. But it is also a story of resilience, showing that even under the harshest oppression, there is always a way to resist and find meaning in one's identity. For those interested in dystopian literature, The Handmaid's Tale stands among the great works of the genre, alongside titles like George Orwell's 1984 and Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. But beyond its classification, it is a work that connects on an emotional level, inviting us to reflect on the present through the lens of a dark future. In short, Margaret Atwood has created a story that challenges us and lingers in our minds long after we finish reading. Offred, Serena Joy, the commander, and the other characters are reminders of the dangers of surrendering our freedom and the strength we all carry within. The Handmaid's Tale is, without a doubt, a book that should be read, discussed, and, above all, remembered. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this recommendation. Together, we form a community of readers united by the magic of reading and the adventure of discovering new stories. Thank you.